Hello guys, I am back to give you guys some amount of update. You guys notice that you're not seeing me in the day? Let me tell you something guys. This hurricane, I wouldn't want any country to experience this. It's literally an apocalypse. Like it's literally that. If you want a fast speed apocalypse, just get hit with a category 5 hurricane. And no, the World Met Office is saying that the strength that Hurricane Melissa hit us with can be easily categorized as a category 6 hurricane. It is devastating. You guys will see videos. You guys will see pictures. But the videos and pictures and all the images that you're seeing doesn't do it any justice. Like these journalists, even though a lot of people are mad at them, I have to also commend some of them for cleaning it up. It's horrific. It's horrible. Horrible. Communities like in Jamaica, some communities are literally islands at this point. Some communities are cut off from the rest of us and they're surrounded by complete water. But the good thing is we have a lot of people coming in to help us and we have a lot of different response team. So we have the Caribbean Disaster Relief Team. They're working with us. We have the Cajun Navy SEALs team, and we have the Kingdom of Netherlands here. We have the Japanese here. And El Salvador, like they were so quick. They jumped on board first, like they have a first. Colombia, Cuba, Israel is here. Israel is here. Israel is here. So Israel sent a medical team, 40 people, which includes doctors and nurses and surgeons. So Israel is here. Yes, Jamaica is peaceful. We don't pick war with people. We definitely lobbied. We did lobby for Palestine. The government did launch a program spreading awareness to what was happening to the people of Palestine. Yes, but he never disrespected Israel in the process. He was very diplomatic about it. So Jamaica is a peaceful and friendly country. In case you guys don't know, that has always and long been our history. And that is why our motto is out of many, one people. And this is why you have a lot of African Americans, even though you see them trashing us, actually buying houses and land here and actually moving here because they say that when they're here, they don't feel the segregation. There's no one calling them African American. They are not given a separation title, and it makes them feel like they're at home. And some of them are saying they regret that they haven't done it years ago. And what they're saying is that when they look around them, they see people like, guys, every religion is here. Name a religion, it is here in Jamaica. But have you ever heard of any religious uprising against any religion? No, because it's out of many one people. And many years ago, we have the Syrians who fled Syria because they were escaping religious persecution. And they fled to Jamaica. Like back in the days, people used to flee to Jamaica a lot for shelter. And the government used to take in a lot of people. But as time passes and we take in people, some of the problems got worse. And the worst part is that it wasn't the entire group of people that we took in. It was just a handful of them who came that made it bad for the rest of their people. Like the Haitians. We took them in, like we used to take them in every time they come. We used to take them in up to when I was an adult, you know. We stopped taking them in after they came here. And when I tell you, it was a handful of them now, because they used to come here, like a lot of them, 2 boatloads, 3 boatloads, 4, like they used to just come back to back, back to back, back to back. And the government would accept them in. They'll get everything free shelter. We would set up tents for them until they were placed in their own space. They would go to school. They would go to college and make good for themselves. Most of them make good for themselves. But it was like a handful of them, the men. They came and they slowly joined the gangs. Like they found the gangs. They intentionally found the gangs here. I don't know how they do it. They intentionally found the gangs here, learned the language. Some of them were studying it through the music, but a handful of them found the gangs here. And when they found the gangs here, they started a gun for drug trade with, oh my God, with the Colombians and some other people. And let me tell you, drugs would be just washing up on our shores, washing up. And our Coast Guard, along with the American Coast Guard, would have to be working overnight and overtime. And they turned this country into a bloodbath. Like, they turned this country into a bloodbath. Have you guys heard about Portmore? They made Portmore have to be on lockdown. Portmore was never peaceful enough because there's Spanish town next to Portmore. So Portmore was never completely peaceful. But when I tell you, they put that entire town, they had to make the police put the entire town on lockdown, and soldiers had to be in Portmore. And I was at work, and they had to tell everyone from work, from a particular area, hang up the phone, it's time to go. Your community is going on lockdown. I was living in Portmore at that point, but the community that I was living in, it had a lot of police and soldiers. So those police and soldiers, they were on guard in the community. There was a community neighborhood watch, so I was good. And then adjacent to that community that I was living in was a community that is known for a little bit of chaos. And the boys in that community who was known for a little bit of chaos, they weren't having it. They were saying it's too much. It was a unnecessary bloodbath. And those boys, they stood firm in solidarity with the police. Let me tell you, man, you see, sometimes when people say they're not taking in any refugees, I feel bad, but sometimes I don't blame them. But can I say all Haitians did that? Absolutely not. Because I can tell you that some of them that came here, made use of the help that they got, and became better than many of the people living here. Yes, many of them. And I was like, when I meet them, because sometimes some of them do like taxi service, and they would be going to college. And once I hear the accent, I start asking them, did you come during that time when we used to accept Haitians? And they would tell me their story, and I would ask them where they came, if it was sent, because they mainly used to come to St. Thomas and Portland. I would ask them if they landed in St. Thomas or Portland, because I love a good history. I'm a history junkie. I kid you. Yes, guys, as I was saying, I'm a history junkie. I kid you absolutely not. Like, if I see and if I come across a documentary or if I come across like a book and about some country's history or something, I'm glued. I'm locked in and I want it all. I'm a history junkie. Yeah. So when I come across people who can tell me about history, like I want to keep in connection with them because I just want to absorb every single thing. I remember there was this guy, a white guy, and he said that he was talking on Facebook, right? He said that when he was going to college, he did a project. One of his assignment that he got was about the culture of Jamaica. And that guy told me some things about my country that I didn't know. And listen, we are friends until this day because I want like every bit of information. And then he started telling me, so after he has, told me everything that he studied, he started telling me about fish having childhood memories. Like, that made me feel so bad. I was saying, fish has what? Yeah, he said fish has childhood memories. I was like, why are we eating them? Can you imagine somebody remembering their childhood and you eat them? I said, you have to be like, I said, you're lying. He said, no, fish has childhood memories. I'm like, get out of here. You see, from that, I don't eat fish. I don't eat fish. Like, I kid you, absolutely not. I haven't eaten fish from that. I don't. And, sometimes they would have like sardines. And they say like sardines is good for people with autoimmune disorder and all of that. And then I'll buy the sardine. And once I remember, I don't want it. Like, I literally don't want it. And I'm not a meat person, like seriously, I'm not a meat person. I realized this a couple years ago that I'm really not a meat person. And as such, I've came up with some really, really good vegetarian dishes, some really great way to make vegetarian meals. Because when I got sick with Graves' disease, I was a vegetarian, like I was a full-blown vegetarian until I learned that veganism isn't for all of us. But anyway, guys, anywho, I just want to talk to you guys. Like, I want to go live, but the internet comes in and out. And then when I have steady internet, I get to see what is going on. And when I see what is going on, I start bawling. Like, every video that I see, I keep crying. And the stories of how these people had to, fight for their life. Oh God. You guys, let me tell you something. If you don't have a strong heart, I believe they're going to do some documentaries. They're going to put these clips together and they're going to do a documentary. If you don't have a strong heart, do not, I implore you, do not watch them. You'll be ruined, and you'll be ruined for quite a while. I'm going to tell you something. Like, when some people died in the West, so the hurricane hit the west end of the island and the northwest. So the west end of the island and the northwest, that's a tourism area. This side has a little bit of tourism, right? But the west and the northwest is the tourism area. When it hit that side, some people of ones died, right? And all the morgues in that area are down. Some of the morgues, they were prepared with backup generators, right? But because Melissa, she was just dumping water on us. She was just dumping water on us. Like, if you see some places that were never flood prone, where the fire brigade had to go in, people were in their houses with water up to their necks and thought they were dead. Like, they literally thought they were dead. And if you hear these people's story, you would bawl for days. And when they were in there, the time the fire brigade, the police were out, they had ropes tied around their waist, and they ensured that they were connected to each other. But some men in their communities were very smart. What they did was to tie rope and wire from one end over to the other side. So when the water came up to the necks of some people, when they said they came out of the house, and they said they're coming out of the house and go outside, go face whatever is out there, they realized that there was something that they could hold on to, and that's how many of them got saved. And this little old man's story will live with me forever. This little old man has a board house. You can tell that the board house is quite a couple of years old. And it withstand the hurricane better than the newly developed house. Like, every house around him is flat. He has the oldest house, and it's still standing there with the paint, with the rusted zinc on the roof. So I was telling someone, like, days before the hurricane, that back in the days, they used to build the board houses with such strength. And I said to them that all those houses are going to survive this hurricane. I said, look for the older board houses in parishes where they have a lot of board houses to survive this hurricane. And they told me I was lying. And I said, no, because of how they used to build the board houses, they're not building them so strong again, because most people have to lease land. And that old man board house was a testament to my statement. And that old man said that he was inside, the water came in, and he said the water started rushing in, and he had to stand on his bed. And he said that the water kept coming in after he was standing on the bed, and the water come up to his waist, and he called on God, and he said, God, I have no way out of this, because if I go outside, I can't swim, I am dead. And he said that after he said that, the water just did this and back out of the house. The man said, who can tell me there isn't a God? Listen, some of these people's stories will have you running to church and asking God for mercy, even if you haven't done anything wrong. Some of these people's stories are so life-changing. And then there's a group of women and men who were traveling on a boat to get to the hospital because there was so much water. Somebody got injured. There was so much water. There was no road. They couldn't tell road where. They were traveling on a boat. The engine broke down, and they had to push the boat. But they were persistent, and irrespective of the fact that the hospital was so badly damaged, so badly ruined, they got to the hospital and they were able to save their community member life. A lot of effort. One of them almost lost a finger in the process. People lost fingers. Guys, it is an apocalypse. And let no one tell you that it's because of Jamaica why the devastation is so bad. No country could have managed this. None. No country has the infrastructure for such devastation. Absolutely none. And this is about to cut off. So let me end it here and start. So guys, as I was saying, no country in the world as the infrastructure for this type of disaster? None. And let me tell you this. I know that you guys have seen a lot of lies and mischief on social media about the houses in Jamaica. But I want to drag your memory a bit. I might have even said this before because the way, I'm literally traumatized. You know, this morning I bawled. I bawled. And I was talking about that earlier in the video, and then I went to something else and didn't finish it. Yeah, let me finish that and then move on to that. So, I saw an article, like, I was about to sleep. I was just about to go to sleep. And the military, right? Their chopper keeps flying over our building because we're at a central point, right? And because their chopper keeps flying over our building, it keeps waking me up because I'm not a sound sleeper. So when I was awakened by one of the choppers because it was flying so low, I thought it was going to crash in the building. Like, I kid you, absolutely not. So I was awakened, frightened by the sound. Then I realized it was just a chopper passing over. I could not go back to sleep, so I started looking to see what is going on social media. And I saw the media outlets reporting that the government is going to exhume the bodies that these people had to bury. Some people had to just bury their loved ones in their backyard, side or front or wherever, because all the morgues were down, generators, everything. So the government has to exhume these bodies now, and they have to do proper burial and stuff. I don't know if they'll be still able to embalm or whatever. I don't know. Or straight burial. I don't know. I really don't know. But when I saw that report, guys, even though I knew it was going to happen, I lost it, like anxiety. I started bawling. Guys, let me tell you something. Be grateful for life and for what you have. Hold your loved ones close and just live every day like it's your last day. Stop complaining about the little things. If you have fear to find health, and if you can find something to eat, give thanks. Believe me, give thanks. Okay, guys, let's talk about infrastructure. Infrastructure, because I've seen, maybe I have addressed this before, because at this point, I can't even keep up with everything, honestly. I can't keep track of everything that I've said and what I haven't said, because it's a lot going on, right? So, some people believe that Jamaica's housings are shacks, right? And here's what I want you to do for me. All you have to do is just Google search how many earthquakes we have experienced since the start of this year, right? Just check how many earthquakes Jamaica has gotten, because geologist says that Jamaica is shrinking in size. So we've been experiencing a lot of seismic activity, a lot of earthquakes, other parts of the world too. But if you check the amount of earthquakes that we've gotten this year, and if you check the damage report, it will tell you that we have damn good infrastructures, damn good houses, because nowhere in the world would the buildings be standing the way they're doing after so many earthquakes and after the strength of some of those earthquakes. So I think that can shed some light for the people who genuinely don't know. And if you want to know, that can shed some light and provide you with some clarity, and you'll understand better. Another popular conspiracy theory that is going on about us is that the Prime Minister brought this hurricane to kill off the people in the West so that he can get the land to turn it into a smart city. And that is not true. Like, there's a record, there's a record of data. And they said that every 45 years, we get a category 5 hurricane, something like that. But I forgot the number of years, but it has happened in the past. When those people who used to build houses in such a way, I don't know what happened to those people in that time. But there was one that happened like years ago that we've always heard our grandparents talking about. And it is since this hurricane that I realized that hurricane that we've always heard our grandparents talk about was a category 5. And a lot of people got washed away then. I think even more than now. So it's not the first we're getting hit with a category 5. Yeah. So the rumor of that, it's not true. Whenever there's any development going on here, like they're building roads, highways into some parishes and communities, what happened is that if the land, if your house, land, or business falls in the plan, what they do is to compensate you. So they'll compensate you. If it's a building, you get compensated for the land and the building. If it's just land, you get compensated for the land. And they will oftentimes, if you need help to find a new land, or if you have another plot of land and you want them to just rebuild the building, they'll rebuild the building to your specification and liking. So they don't just do that because they have relocated a lot of people before. They have relocated businesses, individuals, and communities for project development before, and they were never hostile about it, and they didn't have to be hostile about it. Those people were treated well. They were properly compensated, properly replaced, and they never had to demonstrate it or hear them talking about it because the money was so sweet. They were satisfied, and where they had to rebuild, because they had to rebuild schools, business places, and, some of that. So you don't hear anyone making any fuss or any complaints about those things. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Regular content, yes, I do drop some regular content from time to time, but it's kind of hard to get back to life. Like knowing that your neighbors in the distance, they're not fine, and seeing how that's going on online. I need therapy. I may laugh because humor is like one of our favorite pastime. Humor. You believe some jokes coming out of the country right now at this point? And some people are saying, no, it's not a time for it. You best believe. That is our, some people say take the edge off. That is our take the edge off in a humor. We know nothing else but humor. Being like a damn comedian, being silly, just being fun. That's how we manage at times. But anywho, hopefully I can do some regular content after this for you guys. And I hope you've watched the video. If you made it to the end, leave a comment and let me know. So, yeah.